Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a Azure service bus and how should we use the queue. Okay, so I'm going to use the ASP.NET Core MVC API application for the developing purpose. I have created a sample application, ASP.NET Core MVC API application here. So it has a default controller weather forecast. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new controller in here. So right click and add new item. API controller. So I'm going to give the name as employee. Okay, so first we can create a simple empty controller. Okay, employee controller. So now what we are going to do, so from the web API application, we are going to create a message in the queue which will be stored in the Azure service bus. Okay, let's see how can we create a message and pass it from our C sharp or from the front end to back end, because you can consider this one as a your front end. So from the front end code, you will consume this web API and you will pass the data. And once this was consumed, so this will push or pass the data to the Azure service bus. Okay, so let's simply create a simple action. So HTTP post, and the name will be uh, insert. Okay, so public I action insert employee any name, return status code 201 for creation, and let's pass the object. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder called model. Then I'm going to create a model for that, a class file, class employee. Okay, so it's a simple class. uh, we can have some properties, so like a string first name, simply copy and paste, use last name. And let's have one more property, sorry, public int age. Okay, so let's make the null level. See, okay, so let's, I have three property, a sample property. Okay, so you can have your own logic and own properties here. So for demo purpose, I'm using only three properties. So okay, so let's pass this here, add the references, edit employee. Okay, so we are passing this object from the front end or from the UI. Okay, so then there is no logic. Okay, so in here you will have your database logic to insert the data, but we are not going to cover that. So our goal is to just to pass the data to the Azure service bus. Okay, so first let's run and see this application how it behaves. So here run the application, let's wait for a few minutes. Building is succeeded. Now the Swagger will open for us. System is a bit slow. Yeah, Swagger is opening. Yeah, see here. Here is our new action. Okay, so if I try it out and give execute, yeah, see, we got our response code and some data. Okay, so we have not passed any values into this. Let's okay. So yeah, our so application is running. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create a one more project. Okay, so right click solution, then go and add a new project. So I'm going to create a class library. Okay, so because the, I tell you, so send message next. Okay, so I have a one more project called send message. It's a console application. Okay, so why I have a separate project, because so I can use this project into different places. Currently, we are using in this project. We are going to use in this, but in the future, so if you want to implement, if you want to send the data to different project, if you want to use this same file, so you can have a separate project, so you can use across your multiple projects. Okay, so I'm going to create a class file, class send data, send q data, just a file. Okay, cs file. I will ignore the class one, make it as public. Okay, so in this project we are going to add references. Go to NuGet package manager, browse Azure dot services, messaging services. Yeah, this is the package we want to install. Okay, with this package only we can able to communicate with the service bus. So install. See, we are installing this in the our so like in the class library project, not in the MVC application. Okay. So okay, let's create a simple method. So public, let's public bool like push data to queue. We are just to push. We have a method. Okay, it will return false, return true in as per the logic. Okay, so let's define some parameter. So I'm going to pass a model. Okay, my object data. So with this generic type, so I can pass whatever the model which is from the application. I will explain in more. Then let's have one more for connection string. Then one more for queue name. See, so we have an input data. So in this object, we will pass the employee object from the API on the connection string. So connection string means so like each we have a in sometime we will create a service bus. Okay, so it will have a connection string. So how we have database. So for a database, we will use a connection string. With the help of the connection string, we have the schema name like the same in the Azure service bus. So we will have a connection string. With the help of the connection string, we can able to access the queue. Okay, so for that only we got three properties. So with this thing, we can able to access this method from different project. Okay, so let's create a variable, so called variable where client is equal to new service bus client. Okay, so this in this we should pass a connection string. Okay, then we are going to create a sender. Sender is equal to client dot create sender. Okay, so in this sender we are going to mention the topic, sorry, queue name. So the queue name also, queue name is like it's a queue, so it will have the list of requests. Okay, so here's a queue name. So then what should we do? We are going, so now we have the connection string to access the service bus. So we have the queue name, so the the so in which we are going to push the data. Okay, so now we need the data, so which we are passing from the, so like string message. Okay, so what I'm going to do, so I will convert the message to a string. So I will convert the class to a object to a string. Okay, so for that we can use JSON serializer. Use from the system.text.json. Okay, dot serialize object data. So we are going to pass our model, the class file, the object, and we will convert the class into a string, simply a JSON structure. Okay, so then what we are going to do, so now we are going to pass this message into the queue. Okay, so for that let's use sender AC. Okay, so copy this sender dot send message async. See here we have two things: send message and send messages. So you can able to pass multiple messages at a time. You can pass single message. So now I'll go with a single message. I'm going we have a single message. Okay, so copy the message and paste it here. Since it's async, let's add a await. Yeah, send message async. Yeah. So in this, yeah, see here we should create a service bus message object. So new service bus message. Yeah, in here we should pass the message. It has multiple types. You can pass binary data, service bus receipt. There are different types. So now I'm going with the string type. Okay, so I'll copy and paste it as variable semicolon. See, this is the piece of code. That's all. A 4 to 5 lines. So if we have a method like this, okay, a common method. So with this method, we can able to push the data into different service bus, in different queue, wherever we want. We can simply call the method and we can push it. Okay. So now, okay, this is done. What I'm going to do, I'm going to refer this class library project into the our API project. Okay, so then right click here, add project reference, tick this and click OK. So now we have added the reference. So we can close this file as of now. We not required. Close the model. Close this one. Okay. Okay. Now let's go and create the required services in the Azure portal. I'm going here. So you should open the service bus. You can search for the service bus keyword. I'm going here, create, choose a resource group. So I'm going to choose this one, namespace. What is the namespace for your service bus? I'm going to give a demo service bus YouTube. Yeah, this name exists. So for the pricing tier, I go with the basics. So if you need to know about more, you can click this and you can see the different types of plans, pricing tiers. Okay, so for now I'm going only with the basics. This one is enough for demo purpose. Click review. It's validating. Yeah, well, it's success. So now I can able to create and just deploy. It's deploying. So it'll take some time. Go to the resource. Okay, see here is our service bus. Okay, so now what we are going to do, so as I said, so to push the data into the queue, what we need the object. Okay, object will be passing from the controller, and we need the connection string, we need the queue name. Okay, let's go one by one. Let's take the connection string. Connection string you can get from the, go to the portal, go to access policy, go here. Yeah, see here you have the primary connection string. You can choose whichever. So this one will allow to send, listen, and manage. So if you want to create a connection string only to send a message, you can go and add one more connection. You can tick only the send, and you can take the connection string. So as of now, for the demo purpose, I'm not going to change anything. So you can change as whatever you need for your requirement. But the best practice is to create a separate connection string for send, separate for listen. That's the best way. Okay, but now I'm going to use this casting for the demo purpose. Copy this. Okay, go into the API application. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put this into the JSON file. Okay, so let's make a service bus. So inside this, put a connection string and paste the value. Okay, so first step is done. Then the second step is, so we should get a queue name. Okay, so where will the queue name? Let's go to the portal. So now entities. Okay, so in here you can find something called queues. If you click the queues, it's empty. So you want to create a new queue. I'm going to create a new called employee. Okay, it's a queue name. This is a name we are going to define in the code. Copy this name. Go to the application.json. Queue name. Okay, save everything. See, I'll put side by side. Okay, so we have now all the properties whatever we want. We have the object which we will pass from the front end. We have the connection string to access the service bus. Yeah, we have queue name. Yeah, we have everything. We have everything. Let's save it, then close this file. Okay, so to access the app in JSON, I'm going to use public configuration, use read only. Okay, use this string this and make a constructor. sorry, CT constructor. Okay, in this constructor, let's pass this. We are going to access with a dependency injection. So is equal to, okay. So with this settings, so we can able to access the app JSON. Okay, so let's get the string is equal to configuration dot get value. My type will be string because it's a string, and here you want to pass the path where it is. So open this. It was under service bus. Copy it. Service bus. Inside the service bus, connection string. Then make a one more thing. Then put the queue name. Copy the queue name variable. Paste it. So I'll show you side by side. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are doing. So whenever we try to insert the employee, so we are going to read the connection string and the queue name from the app.json file. So it's like a configuration. So for example, so for the employee, we will use this connection, and for different purpose. So for HR and for payroll, you can have a different connection string, and you can have different queue. Okay. So now what we will do, let's try to call the sendQdata.cs file. Okay, so how we can call? So first, give me a second. I'll charge the laptop. Okay, so okay, now we got a connection string ready. Now we want to access this class file, right? SendQdata, which was in a different project. So add a reference using send message. Okay, so now what we can do, copy the class name, create an object for that. Okay, call the method like the push the queue to queue. Yeah. So now we have the parameters. So pass the employee object, comma, next one is the connection string, comma, queue name. Okay, so this is an async, so make it as async. Add a await. Okay, so now what we have? Okay, so now we have everything: the connection string, the queue name, and the method to pass the queue, to push the queue. Okay, see, a single piece of line. In future, if you have different project or different place where you want to push the data into the service bus, you can simply call this method. You can pass the value and you can push it. Okay, so yeah, now what I'll do, I'll open the portal and see. Sorry, we stopped here. So create the queue. Creating. Okay, see, here's the queue. So now everything is 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's count everything. Okay, if I go into the queue, okay, if you click the service bus explorer, here you can find the queue. What are the values inside the queue? And you can find it from the here overview. Here you can see how many active queues, how many scheduled dead letters, everything. I'm not going deeply into whatever the properties, whatever the things I'm not going deeper way. I'm going to just tell how to push the data into the queue. Okay. So now what we will do, so we will run this project. Let's have a breakpoint in here and breakpoint in here, so you can see how the values are passing from one project to another project. Okay, it's just for demo purpose only. And the main thing is, see here the count is zero message. Okay, after we push the data, here we can see one record, one. The count will be increased to one. Let's see how it is increasing. The Swagger is opening. Okay, try. I'm going to pass the data. Execute. Yeah, now we are in our method. So we are going to read the connection string. Yeah, we have the connection string. We have the queue name. Yeah, we have the queue name. Then we are going to call the method. Yeah, so it has the model, what are the values which we are passing from there. So open connection string, create a sender. See, yeah, here. So our class object was modified into a JSON object. It has all the properties, a string format. Okay. Now we are going to push into the service bus. Okay, it's done. It's inserted. So if we go and check in the portal, refresh it. See, now the zero was changed into one message. Okay, let's finish the execution. Stop, execute. Now I will remove the breakpoints. Let's try to insert the one more data. Okay, so this is the first data I inserted. Now I'll put the Rajesh Khanna 2 to make it a second one. Execute. If I open the Azure portal, click the refresh. See, now it's two message. Now let's see how to read the message, or how to see the message, whatever it's in the queue. So you can go into Service Bus Explorer. In here you can able to find the data. If you want to see the data, whatever is in the queue, it's loading. It takes some time. Usually it won't take some time, but my system is slow. Yeah. So whatever we are doing now, we are just passing the data into the queue. So I will create a separate video to how to consume and read the data. Now whatever we are doing is just, so like we are passing the data into a queue, like we are pushing some data. So what are we going to do after getting the data? So once you got the data, so you want to trigger some event. For example, whenever you are booking a ticket in the ticket portal, so once you click the submit, so our data will be sent into a queue, and yeah, then they will book the ticket, they will create your invoice, they will send you email, blah blah blah, everything. Yeah. So the first step is to push the data into the queue. This is the first step what we have done. I will try to refresh it. See here we have queue two count. Okay. So peak from start. Okay. See here the message text. I have the values, first value, second value is with two, the data which we sent. So yeah. So this is a way to push your data into a queue into the Azure service bus. Okay. Thanks for watching my video, friends. Like my video, share my video, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Bye bye.